Can corporations die? Those living things that get to sway and affect our vote, these corporations. Churches are corporations, enabled, defined under law, period. Corporations. Your city, your police force, your fire department are all incorporated in some way, somehow. Public activities, public support, even that requires liability, I suppose is the word for it. And government services come with those things, those liabilities. And the society pays for those liabilities, whether it's the local society, the county, the state, the city. Corporate actions, tax law actions drive these things, allow the profits in these things. One of the ways to manage that is in the courts. Tort type actions, tort after the fact litigation. This is what the Federalist Society believes in. This is what dominionists believe in. This is the nonsense brought into Congress. So these corporations, these things are a part of life. They have been since these boats invaded the Americas. Whatever boats, the Vikings, the canoes, the dugouts, the sailing ships. You could term these invasions over hundreds of thousands of years of human existence and the ebb and flow of humanity. So what's significant about these corporations? They're intellectual property. That is the only capital that they have. People thinking of things to do and how to move money through an economy. There's no heroes up there. There's people doing jobs. And then there's people raping a nation. And there is a difference. And waiting for a judgment and an afterlife on it is shallow. Easy, simple, and shallow. So why corporations? Why speak to corporations? These are global entities. The Koch Industries of the world, the Exxons, the Dow Chemical. Remember Dow? Didn't Dow Chemical Company pass away? Didn't we have a funeral for Dow for destroying a whole city, still affecting thousands of people daily in India from a chemical plant disaster? Most have forgotten about in history. Huge, significant, enduring event. You could call it a local, whatever. So these corporations, the intellectual capital and property that they have never dies. It just doesn't happen. Why does this matter? Winners and losers. Even though Germany, yes, I'm going to pull that card, tried to take over, usurp the will of the people of a whole continent, and were checked. The corporations, how many were there behind Adolf and his merry band of soldiers? You think it was a dozen? You think it was 2 dozen? Well, those corporations didn't die. Their intellectual property didn't die. It was sold off. Our radar knowledge, the radar that lets all these airplanes fly and enables it and helps make it work, came from England. Research done in England. It opened up the world of high frequency transmissions and a whole new wave of radio. We went from AM to FM to now we're into, what's everyone familiar with? The telephone, 5G, 6G, 8G communications, which is a communications protocol for the internet. Actually, it's for networks. It's for massively scalable networks, but that's corporate intellect, right? So these corporations own these things. This ties back into the COVID-19 conversation right now and a hegemony and fights for wealth. So above all of this fray, supposedly, is a global entity called the World Health Organization. Now, they're not supposed to fret patents. They're supposed to just worry about world health. This spinning frickin' globe. This is a partner with the United Nations in a global attempt to try to help humanity frickin' itself survive. Big, and yet we're playing patent games, personal wealth games, personal privilege games. The wealthy bastards know they've got a good hospital room to go to. They aren't worried about this, other than some existential party and reason to make bullshit ads and crap media. So these corporations, their patent ownership, their ill-gotten gains, our sciences came out of U.S. tax dollars and international global interests. Nothing to do with a sorry-ass flat planet belief or thoughts and, oh, wait a minute, we're shutting down even the churches because of communicable diseases. Is there a lesson in that? So, a third party, because neither of the two, they got theirs. Thank you. Boy, 8 minutes, it's tough to get the deepities, eh?